I am currently 5 days out from my bodybuilding show. Welcome back to another vlog. In today's video, we are going to be going through what steroid cycle I've been using in this prep, as well as answering some of your questions which you asked me on Instagram. George Osborne 12, head over there, give us a follow as you get behind the scenes daily content on there. So if you're enjoying these daily vlogs, please make sure you drop a like. Please make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. We're trying to chase down that 50k. Just out for my morning walk. This is my final day of digging before we start pulling back. So I've got 15,000 steps to do today. I've got a pool session as well, and I can't wait to take you on for the ride. Let's fucking go.
Diesel, leave me alone.
You having fun there?
Yeah.
Actually, it's pretty good to be fair.
It is. It's a bit lopsided.
Quiet you. Yes, quiet you. Yes, quiet. Oh, it is a little bit lopsided, isn't it? Local park. And oh, I remember chilling out as a kid and just being at the local park and just doing this. Oh, it's quite fun actually.
Diesel.
Right, Diesel, out of the way, bruv. This used to be fun. This is quite therapeutic for me. You know what I mean? Right, Diesel, out the bloody way. Look, he's gonna kill himself. Look, I've just whacked his chops. Oi, fucking hell. Right, okay, I want to get off now because I'm Mickey. Stop. Stop, Mickey. Oh shit. Oh god, I feel sick. Oh, good fun that. So, just got back from a pretty big walk. I think that's 8,939 steps. Gone down. Pre-workouts just about made. Look at that, proper. And then, I know I said the chocolate one the other day was my favourite, but this caramel one is up there with the best in my opinion. It's hard to find, but Tesco's usually sell it at a good price. Club card, £2.49. Normally it's £4 a fucking jar, you criminals. But this is very, very good. So, usual pre-workout meal. We're going to be training a little bit earlier today because we're a little bit fucked. So 10:43 is the second meal of the day, and that's going to be our pre-workout. I wonder how long I'm going to enjoy this bowl for in my off season. I reckon 6 months, and then I'll get bored of it. But for now,
6 months and then you're going into prep.
yeah, 6 months of going into prep. So this is for the next year, to be honest with you. Love this meal. Love it. Like, I have a relationship with Vicky, but I also have a relationship with Alex as well. And it sometimes can be quite complicated because it does fuck me over. The microwave gets involved, and that's where things go tits up, and the blueberries as well. So,
You do.
well, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. Go on, say it again.
So I come downstairs, wake up in the morning, just spat out some blueberries. Sorry about that.
Delicious.
I walk into the toilet and I'm looking down the toilet. I'm like, someone's been sick. Someone's been sick. And then I noticed that it's the oats that have been poured down because they weren't perfect. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Did you pour the oats down?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even ask you about it because I was like,
Yeah.
you're just going to get pissed off.
No, I fucked up the oats. So what I do if I fuck up the oats, I'm remaking them. I don't give a fuck. They're going straight down the toilet, and I'm remaking. It looks like sick, but it's where I'm not going to put it down the sink because it'll clog it up. I'll put it down the toilet. Like, what's the difference between that and having? Sorry, you're eating diarrhea. So yeah, I just shove it down the toilet, and I'm remaking it. And if I need to make it 3 or 4 times, I will do so. It's like the other week. We kept fucking up our oats. We made it 3 times. We had to remake it because we just kept fucking up for whatever reason. I don't give a fuck. I'm remaking it, motherfuckers. Fuck that. I'm on prep. Every meal fucking has to be enjoyable, and if it's not, I ain't eating it. Right, this is how your oats want to look when they come out the freezer. So, frozen on top, and then underneath, nice and gooey underneath. That's how you make it. I might make a tutorial for the old YouTube channel. If you want to see that, let us know in the comments down below how I do this. It's not that hard. You've got to be retarded to not know this. But yeah, gooey, creamy underneath, hard on top, just how we like it. Okay. What I typically do is I eat literally around the peanut butter, and I'll save that little bit till last. It's eating disorder behavior, guys, but it's well worth it at this point. Right, just making pre-workouts, intra-workouts, all that good stuff. So with it being pumpy sort of sessions this week, I don't feel like I need to be using any stims really. So I'm just going to go from the pre-pump plus, which is a non-stim from Supplement Needs. Again, as always, guys, thank you for everyone that supports us using the codes. If you do want to support us and get anything from Supplement Needs, then code BORNE at checkout, and that will save you 10% off your order. So non-stim going in for me. Vicky, are you having a non-stim or a stim? Vicky's going for a non-stim as well. So what I usually like to do is get some pink salt, and I'll usually crank like 1 or 2 grams in there like that. It does taste a little bit, yeah, is all I can say. But it does the job in terms of getting like a pump. As well as that, I do add creatine into this as well. So the reason why I just add it into my pre-workout is just for remembering, really. It doesn't really add anything more to it. People say it's a GDA and this and that, blah, 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 bullshit. But in my opinion, it ain't gonna make a massive difference. And then EAA is a choice. This one's my favorite one. So Fruit Splash. Having a complete protein whilst you are training, again, helps when we break down muscle fibers when we're training, helps that recovery, which in my opinion, is just all about those 1%. So I'm going to make that. I'm also going to have a coffee for the way, which will be my third for the day. Shock. I'm really loving ground coffee right now. I know we've got an espresso machine, but ground coffee seems to be slapping recently. So I'm going to have one of those. So of course, you've clicked on today's video because you want to find out the title of what drugs am I using in this prep, and you'll be very surprised. So I've got my blue tin here where I keep all our drugs. What I am using at the moment is 100, no I'm not, I'm not. I'm using 90 milligrams of testosterone. This is the testosterone that I'm using. I'm not sure if you're going to see that. We actually got it from Thailand, so it's pharmaceutical testosterone. And funny enough, this testosterone that I'm using right now, 90 milligrams puts me at around 30 nanomoles of test, which a lot of people are going to sit here and go, oh, you're still in the natural range. But this is the importance of blood work and actually understanding your body and actually understanding your needs. My natural testosterone sits around 13 nanomoles, 13 to 15 nanomoles. So 30 nanomoles is actually double, nearly 3 times the amount of what my natural test produces. So when you actually think about it, it's a cycle for me. And this is where people make mistakes. Just because I'm not using 250 milligrams of test per week, I'm not on a cycle. But technically I am. Now, I'm a very slow metabolizer. So what that basically means is drugs stay in my system for longer, which has its pros and cons. Obviously, the longer my gear stays in my system, obviously the more side effects that I could potentially be risked to. The good side of it is I don't need to use as much. So I've only used 90 milligrams of testosterone. I'll split that into 2 jabs throughout the week. 1 jab on the Wednesday, 1 jab on the Sunday. So 45 milligrams Wednesday, 45 milligrams on the Sunday. That's all I've been running. And the importance of when you change labs or when you change your test files, make sure you get your blood work, because you can actually find out whether it is good gear, bad gear, whether it's putting your test levels higher, lower. And this is the reason why I did that, because I knew when I was going to Thailand, I was getting some very good grade testosterone. So I wanted to make sure, and obviously clearly if 90 milligrams is putting me at 13 nanomoles, clearly it's pretty good shit. It's pretty good stuff. So I've not needed any more than that. And I've not increased that. I've not decreased it. That's all I've simply been using for the last 6 months now, since I came back from Thailand, which was in May. So that's all I've been running. The other things that I've been running is 60 mcg a clem. I've been running that for the last week and a half potentially. So that's the only time that I've used clem throughout this prep is the last week and a half. I've actually removed it from today because it isn't necessarily needed. And the other thing that I was using throughout, especially at the beginning of my prep or mid-prep as well, was 2 IUs of growth hormone pre-bed. So that is all I've exposed myself to. And one thing that I want you to know about this channel is, like, it isn't about getting massive. Yes, could I use more drugs and get bigger? Absolutely. But my goal is to do things in a different way, is do things in a way which is different to the fitness industry. Just because it isn't, you know, 150, 200, 250 milligrams of testosterone like most of these people recommend, doesn't mean that it's not a cycle. You know, your first cycle could be double the amount of, you know, your natural testosterone produces. 26 nanomoles to 30 nanomoles is double the amount. Yes, it's in the natural range, but it's higher than what my body produces, and everyone's going to be very different. There are many people that sit naturally at like 26 to 30 nanomoles. Unfortunately, I am not that person. 90 milligrams puts me around that sort of mark. If I went up to 150 milligrams, that would put me up to around about 40 nanomoles of testosterone, which is arguably going to make me more progress, yes, but I don't need to be doing that right now. I've proven that I can make progress of very small amounts, and I've got nothing to lie about here as well, because a lot of people come at me saying, you lie, you sure you're taking this amount? Why am I going to bullshit you? You know, why am I going to be sitting here and making all this sort of stuff up? You should know by now, if you follow the channel, that I'm totally honest and transparent about these sort of things. So that's all I'm simply running. And it's nothing crazy, it's nothing fancy, it's not like some of these people that run these crazy cycles. That's just not me. I don't want to do that. Now, will I escalate maybe in the off season, potentially at some point? Who knows? That's something that I'll discuss with Vicky, and I'll figure out what my plans are. However, this is what I'm running for my first assisted prep. I'm very happy with the results that I've got from it. I've had about 6 kilos of muscle from doing so, but that doesn't take away from the non-negotiables in bodybuilding. Routine, stress management, progressive overload, eating well, consistency, all these different things complement those sort of things. Yes, steroids do work, absolutely. I'm not saying they don't, but at the same time, like, it's the icing on the cake. You can't build the foundations. You can't, what's the word I'm looking for here actually? Come up with a better term. It's like making a cake. To get the ice on the cake, you've got to build the foundations first, right? To build a house, you've got to have the foundations in place first before you build that house. So very similar to what I'm doing right now. So I hope that makes sense. And if there is any questions about that, then obviously you can let us know in the comments, or you can give us some shit. It's totally down to you. But that's what the Georgie Boy's running. We'll see you in the next clip. Better. Ready? I'm recording. We're in for Paul, Ultraflex, Derby, 5 days out. Unfortunately, again, it's another boring training session going down. God, yesterday was shit. And I actually really struggled to kind of hold myself back on a few exercises, but needs a must. And the same rules apply in terms of like just coming in here and still switching that mind on, because I still think it's very easy just to go through the motions at this moment. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, like coming in here and just like still visualizing what you want to achieve really does help in terms of just getting through it. So mainly my back movements at the moment are lat focused, purely because lats is an area that back in general is an area that I want to obviously completely improve. But lats in particular are something that I want to try and improve the most. So you'll notice today a lot of my movements are going to be lat based. And we're just going to try and hit them from all different angles. So vertical, horizontal, any sort of angle that I can hit the lats from, I certainly will. We can start off with abs together, which is great. Always start off with abs. You wonder why I've got really good abs, because I do it fucking first. And it's a genetic component, and body fat as well. And then we'll do some posing post-workout, and then I'm going to go in the sauna for 20 minutes or so, depending on what the time is. I'm going to make sure I do that though, so I'm going to make sure I set a time on my phone so I don't piss around training. So yeah, I hope you're still enjoying the vlogs, guys, and of course make sure you drop the like and subscribe, and yeah, I've got nothing else to say other than let's fucking get into it. one thing I hate about Ultraflex is this. I mean, just fucking left it on the machine, didn't he? That's fucking, I don't know, it just pisses me off. I like 1 or 2 plates, in my opinion, is fine. Unlike a movement like this where you can do like 4 or 5 plates quite easily. 1 plate left on is fine in my opinion, but all of that, criminal. So we've came in here and it's a little bit quieter when it comes to people, which is brilliant. The only downside to this, well, 2 sides. 1, fucking plates left on the machine, and 2, they've added loads of equipment in here and it's very cramped now, so I always bang my fucking leg or my shin and it bruises so easily right now. That is one of like the worst pains ever, isn't it? When you just walk past something and you fucking bang it. So we're gonna start with this horizontal row here, thinking about driving the elbow down to the base of my spine. Lovely movement this. The only downside to it is if you're strong as fuck, you can load like 10 plates on this, which for me, luckily I can't. So I've still got progression to be made. So any lat horizontal row, whether it's a dumbbell, whether it's with a D handle, whether it's with a machine like this, the analogy you want to think about is trying to wrap that elbow around your spine. So when you drive, think about leaning through the elbow, drive down to the hip, and then wrap it around the spine. Learn the anatomy of the body, how the muscles move, where they insert, the movement that the muscle of the joint can do, and you get a good idea of how to perform a certain exercise. So any lat movement, down to the hip, wrap around the spine, is a really good cue to think about. Give it a try. Oh, quickly whilst I'm here, look what I'm doing, guys. I'm taking off the fucking plates. Like, just leave one on there, yeah? Look. It ain't fucking hard, is it? So we're doing 3 lat movements first. Single arm horizontal row, a single arm pull down. Now we're gonna go on to a vertical pull down. So I've really tried to hit the lats from all different angles. I'm doing it first, like I've said before on the channel, priority principle. If you have an area that you need to improve, put it first when you're fresh in your session to get the most out of it. There is no point putting your weaker muscle groups last in the training session, when you want to go home, when you're tired from the session. So always prioritize that. So 3 lat movements. This is what I'm going to be doing in my off season as well, because lats are an area that I really want to improve, and just making sure that it feels good. I think that's really important. I've really sort of like switched my mindset a little bit on some exercises that I was just sort of throwing weights about from point A to point B and not feeling shit. And I got pretty strong at those movements, but when I looked at my physique, it wasn't showing that. So you've got to sort of reevaluate what you are doing. It's great dumbbell pressing 140 kilos, dumbbell pressing 140 kilos, barbell pressing 140 kilos, but if your chest looks shit, you need to reevaluate that, you know? Your chest should look good if you're doing 140 kilo bench, that's for sure. A bit meh today, guys, in terms of like small flat. what I never see. People doing this exercise anymore, this narrow grip cable row. In my opinion, it's one of the best, like, old school type of rows you can do. Like, my mid back when doing this, whew, it's so nice and toasty. It's unreal. So don't neglect some of the things. I think nowadays, because we're seeing people do like D-handle pull downs or these weird variations of these fucking rows, like some of the guys back in like the 80s, 90s, like Dorian for example, argued one of the best backs ever. And they were just doing basic like fucking rows and just rowing it, right? So sometimes we overcomplicate it, I think, in this century of bodybuilding. And even I admit I do that myself. So sometimes I just go back to the drawing board and just do some basic movements and just get good at it with good form, with purpose, with intensity. And yeah, it makes a massive difference. As you can see, guys, I'm fucked. My energy's so fucked right now, it's terrible. Right, a few bicep tips that I can give you from, I mean, my biceps are pretty good, to be honest with you. Like, my arms are, I'd probably say, one of my strongest points of my physique, and I don't even know how, to be honest with you. Exercise selection is important, so always do something that you can do safely, and of course you feel. Like, you want to be coming off an exercise and going, fucking hell, I feel that on my biceps. Now, in my opinion, I'm not too bothered about progressive overload. What I personally like to do in my arm training is focus more on volume. I think high volume training for your arms works the best. Like, I can't be curling 40 kilo dumbbells. That is pointless shit to me. But what I can do is I can create that same volume that I would get from curling 40 kilo dumbbells with doing more repetitions or more total working sets throughout the week. So if your arms are a weakness and you want to improve them, either accumulate more volume throughout the week, then being a smaller muscle group, they're going to be able to recover better, meaning you're going to be able to hit them maybe 3-4 times a week. And of course, accumulate more volume, more repetitions over time, more sets in the session. Those are my key tips. Exercise that you enjoy, exercise that you connect with, volume over time, high volume training, in my opinion, works really well for arms. So if you need an arm day, I would do an arm day. Tag some at the end of like your leg day, for example. Tag on some of your, under the end of your push day, obviously your pull day, your back day, whatever it may be. Just accumulate more volume over time. That's how you get big arms. Write that one down. Right, I know you guys have seen my physique yesterday, but we're gonna keep showing it and just keep updated to how we're looking post-workout. I feel quite pumped today. I had quite a good pump in my training session. It's funny what drugs do. Because when I was natty, I would never feel any of this sort of stuff. I would just be fucking flat, but it's actually nice to have a bit of a pump as well. So we're gonna take some visuals, show where I'm at. So, got back from the old gymnasium. Camera died, so apologies, I couldn't actually summarise it, but it was a good session, to be honest with you. Pump was good. It's just those flimsy sessions at the moment, which is not ideal, but we got it done, and we're in for a rest day tomorrow. So I'm following my usual split of push, pull, rest, push, pull, and then I'll rest on Saturday before the show, and then obviously Sunday is the show itself, so it falls quite nicely for me. We're contemplating training legs after the show because I know I'll be on quite early, so maybe just considering doing legs after the show. Why the fuck not, eh? And have a good time together. Anyway, we went to the gym a little bit earlier today because we're just fucked, really. And I notice we eat very close to our bedtime, so we will eat probably, 30 minutes before we go to bed at some points. And it never really feels like we're actually digesting the food. Like, I sometimes wake up in the morning, I'm still like stomach full, if that makes sense. So yeah, well, my mind is not, I'm constantly hungry, to be honest with you, but I do notice the digestion has a huge effect. So we went to the gym a little bit earlier. It's about 5 o'clock right now, so we're out for our final 5k, which will be nice, and then we get to sort of chill out. So this will be my final day of doing 15k. Bring it down for tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, so my final day of doing.
That's a non-negotiable as well, because I've been telling George to do certain things this week and he's just not listening.
I know.
Not funny. Yeah.
Final day of doing 15k, and then how many steps do you want me to do tomorrow?
Just taper it down to 10 because I know you'll refuse
10k.
to do that.
No, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, Vix. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. Okay. And then, yeah, get to round up the day and finish it strong. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's YouTube video. If you have, comment down below. Battery. I need to change my battery for my microphone. Long story short, dead. Boring. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have him enjoying the. I never know how to end it. It's always the case. Vicky's just watching me going, what the fuck is this guy doing? Hope you enjoyed the content. I appreciate all the comments, all the messages on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, George Osborne 12. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the 4 days out vlog.